welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. I hope you like that new intro. If you haven't seen it before, do leave me a comment if this is your first time seeing it. I'd love to know what you think of our new logo. Plus, we now have our .com, thehedgehoghollow.com. We're also The Hedgehog Hollow on Instagram as well, so we're slowly transitioning everything over as well, but we're still youtube.com/hedgehoghollow. And don't forget to hit those subscribe buttons at the end. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this lovely turtle using the Hero Arts layering stamps. You can also see we're going to create some awesome water droplets that are super realistic on there as well. Plus we're going to be creating that lovely watercolor background that he is on. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to be using my MISTI along with this layering turtle stamp set. There's lots of elements to the turtle there. You can see you've got the body, the shell, the arms and things. We're going to lay all of those on. There's also some reeds, some starfish, and some nice sentiments in there too. I have a piece of card front size Neenah solar white cardstock, and I'm actually using the inks that I bought in a set. I bought this from scrapbook.com with the inks, and it came with the dies as well, which I'll be using later. And it shows you on the back of the packet there how to use the different layers. And I'm just going to work my way through the turtle. So I'm going to start with the main solid piece in the lightest colour, then I'm going to work through the colours on the shell, and then I'm going to work through the colours on the arms as well. Now these are new photopolymers, I haven't conditioned them in any way, so I'm going to stamp them a couple of times just to make sure I get a nice solid foundation with that ink. Now we're ready to create our watercolor background. I have a piece here of watercolor cardstock and some of the Daniel Smith watercolors. Now these are droplets of the pure Daniel Smith watercolors, and then they're on this cardboard sheet. So it's a really nice way to try out lots of colors, and it's a really cost-efficient way of getting lots of colors in your collection as well. So you can try these out, find the ones you use a lot, and then you could buy the tubes of those, or you could buy a few of these different sheets, and they come in lots of different quantities. I have one of the larger ones. I have over 200, so there's sort of 4 or 5 sheets. You can get ones that have, I think there's one that has slightly more colours and one that has slightly less. I was using my aqua painter to add a droplet of water on there and then create this background. I had a Teflon sheet there in case I needed it. And then again, I'm using that chopping board that you saw before. It's great for adding heat and things on, and I really like it now that I'm working on this white surface. It saves me lots of clear up, so I will link that up for you too. The great thing about the Ranger Heat It tool is that it won't move any of that watercolor around for you. So I like to use that rather than my Wagner heat tool at this point. So then I started, I took some paper and picked out some of that colour. Then I went back with a second layer, and I just wanted to sort of edit it a little bit. You can see it gets nice lights and darks in there. And to do that, I'm using a kitchen towel to pick things up and then going back in, more layers, drying. So that's the best way to work with watercolour, is adding in layers. Now you can see I have also cut the turtle out using the dies that I mentioned came in the set that I purchased. So we have our finished watercolour piece. It's got that nice faded edge to it, which is going to look great when we are all finished. And I'm trimming my watercolour paper down. So I have the FedEx store cut it into quarters, and then I trim it to carve front size with matting layers, depending what I'm doing. So you can see there our lovely turtle, and he came out great with those 4 different colours of ink cubes from Hero Arts. And as I say, that was sold as a set at scrapbook.com. I'll link it all separately as well, so depending what you want to add to your collection. Now again, I've got that P.H. Martin's Pen White, which is one of my favourites. It does need a good stir before you start. Some of the pigment tends to settle, but I'm adding it on to add some nice splashes on there of that white ink. Again, got my Teflon mat underneath. I then went on to dry it, and while that was drying, air drying I should say, I'm adding some shimmer using a Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen. It works really nicely over the top of lots of your images, and it just gives him that sparkle as though he's really swimming through that sea scene that we're working on. So I'm now adding him onto there with a piece of foam on the back. So that's off my big foam roll that you've seen before. And I'm using the Hero Arts Hues to stamp out. This was a Jennifer Maguire recommendation. It is a really nice black ink. It's super juicy pad, first of all. But I'm going to stamp it out. I'm using the Lawn Fawn blocks. That's something new. Excuse my head there. I was trying to layer it over the top because I wanted to stamp it out twice for a little bit of a more intense look. And that's a great way that you can do that without using a stamp platform. So I'm using the Elizabeth craft tape. I like using that on watercolour paper. It's extra strong, and I do find that some other adhesives can struggle with watercolour paper. The card base is half a sheet of Lawn Fawn Blue J cardstock that I've cut in half lengthways and then folded in half, and so that watercolour piece will be 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just mounting that flat on there. Now the final thing that I want to do is add some dots. This is Nuvo Drops. These are the clear ones. Again, I'll link all that up for you. That's what gives you that wonderful look of having water droplets. So you'll see in the picture at the end, and also in the pictures previously, how that comes out, and it is a really great effect. I think it really does look like water droplets. So pleased with this card. So thanks so much for joining me here today at the Hedgehog Hollow. I hope you like all our new branding and the tutorial. If you are enjoying these, do give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button in the right hand side there. Also, you can hop on over to the blog in that top right hand corner, and on the left there you've got 2 links to other videos that I thought you might enjoy as well. Thanks so much for joining me here today. I'll see you again very soon in another video. Happy stamping. Bye.